Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Curtis, thank you for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. Thank you so very much to all these poets who are here to honor our everything, all of us, our fallen, our alive, our ancestors, our children. So we're very, very grateful that everyone is here. Thank you. The first thing we're going to do is offer libations, and I've asked an incredible poet, Benin, to help us with that. So if you can come out. Thank you so very much. So I'll let her call out some important dates for August, and then I am going to pour libations. It'll be a living libations plant, so I'm going to pour it right over here. And after I pour, we will all say, Ashe.
August 1st, the abolishment of slavery in the United Kingdom. Ashe. August 5th, death of Toni Morrison. Ashe. August 7th, death of Jonathan P. Jackson, one of the Soledad brothers, at San Quentin State Prison. Ashe. August 11th, the beginning of the Watts Uprising. Ashe. Boys Cayman, a voodoo ceremony that would lead to the first large-scale uprising of the enslaved of Saint-Domingue and spark the Haitian Revolution. Ashe. August 17th, birth of Marcus Garvey. Ashe. August 21st, beginning of Nat Turner's slave rebellion. Ashe. August 21st, death of George Jackson in Marin County Courthouse. Ashe. August 23rd, uprising of the enslaved in Saint-Domingue. It was the first day of the Haitian Revolution. Ashe. August 24th, birth of Marsha P. Johnson, transgender rights activist and prominent figure in the Stonewall Uprising. Ashe. August 28th, March on Washington, where MLK delivered his I Have a Dream speech. Ashe. August 28th, the murder of Emmett Till and the beginning of the civil rights movement. Ashe. Also, August 28th, the death of our forever Black Panther, our King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. Ashe. And August 30th, birth of Fred Hampton, Deputy Chairman of the Black Panther Party. Ashe. And so it is.
I like that beat. You can keep that. Stress eater. The Washington Post's August 14th, 2023 headline said, brains and other body parts, mostly from people of color, were taken without consent. And I heard clearly in my brain, I am going to stress eat right now. Article said Smithsonian's collection of human remains is one of the largest in the world. Its collection of 255 brains were taken from mostly Black, Indigenous, and other peoples of color. My mind said, go eat some more. And I ran to the kitchen to eat and eat, even though I'd had breakfast, stuffed my face with crackers and cheese, humming, don't cry, girl, don't cry, don't cry. But the water came anyway. And as the tears fell, I ate them too. The caption murmured, brains were collected to further racist theories. I eat some more. Eating the trauma, eating the fear, eating the knowledge of the absence of black brains from black bodies. I eat for the hunger of black slaves, for our brains and body parts hanging on some marble wall in basements under the clean, shiny floors of institutional buildings I have paid to visit. And then, after I am fuller than I should be, licking crumbs and sorrow and history from around my mouth, wrecked, simply wrecked for the rest of my day, this month, year, decade, this millennium, I sit down and I write this poem. I sit down and I write this poem. And I pray to the ghosts of Nat Turner and Wanda Coleman and Hannibal and James Baldwin and Toni Morrison and Huey P. Newton to find those motherfuckers who took our brains from our bodies and show them what it means to be dead. And I'm going to ask you all to contribute a little bit at this point. So when we sing songs like this in West African dance class, we like that call and response. So I'm going to let you all add to that. And I'll go, Puse, babadina. Yes. They're like, what? Puse. Nice. Puse, babadina. Puse, babadina. Puse.
His parents were black African, not black African American. Mom is from Kenya, Pop's from Zimbabwe. Somehow he lacks pigment, no melanin in figment. White skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. His flesh is the evidence. The difference between black and white is as simple as turning your hand over. His DNA is the evidence that oftentimes life is more complex on the bus they stare. He feeds not into their fascination. This is not imagination. White kids call him nigger. Black kids call him white boy, so he nicknamed himself Soy. Feels he is an imitation, but doesn't feel the flattery. And his mom is from Ireland. Pop straight from Germany. He's raised in Inglewood, so he's in rap ciphers with the best of them. White kids call him nigger. Black kids call him white boy. His friends say that's my nigga. He's the only Caucasian they know that they allowed to return that, and when they shake hands, it sounds like a soul clap. His mom says that at home, though, she slams on the coffee table and tells him to pick his pants up and walk like a good white boy. She says, you act like a monkey, nigger. So he goes to his room, smokes a bowl, just a silencer, listens to Public Enemy, reads Malcolm X, looks in the mirror, feels quite vexed. And his mom has her master's. Pops works construction though. They're the only black family in this part of the suburbs, and he's damn good on that board. Sponsored by the local skate shop, he has a 4.2 and contemplating Boston College. White kids call him nigger. Black kids call him white boy. He's dark like the shade and smiles like the sun, but every day he has to run. Some white boys wanna hurt him. They say that skateboard is not a basketball, Jerome. We're gonna break your legs and then take our sport back. Fatigue from running cyclical. Escape ramp won't help him escape that. Black kids don't accept him. They say you talk like a white boy, but he's a good sport though, cause he doesn't lash out, right? He just cuts his arms a little and wears long sleeves. Once we're led by Moses, now we're just children of the wilderness, wandering the desert with old stories and no remembrance. It's easy to define race. Culture is where it gets complex. This is the story of America and why our sons have a complex. Equal because the law says, although law may treat us different. Equal because the blood says, although skin shows us different. Education, a great equalizer. The workforce proves that different. You can have a great melting pot and still have bias burning at the bottom of it. Popes, politicians, and principals preach the nature of land of law, but it doesn't equate to too much when we nurture our prejudices.
Ashe. A Saturday night. What do you do when you see lights in the rearview mirror? What do you do when the siren loops around your throat? What do you do when you are on the street in a group of 4 or more? What do you do when you are alone? What do you do when you know you don't have anything in your pockets that can hurt the officer? Keep your eyes on the road and find a safe spot to pull over. Turn that noise on your radio down before the officer approaches your window. Didn't they teach you in high school that 4 or more of you is a gang? Don't you know that you shouldn't be out here alone? Don't you know that your skin was weaponized in the womb? Speak only when spoken to. Don't matter that you wasn't doing nothing. Don't matter they be doing this all the time. Don't matter that we don't be bothering nobody. Don't drop the G's from your ings. Don't ask questions, ask permission. To reach into your purse for your wallet, you should just clench your license between your teeth and smile while you are doing it, but not too hard. Black joy is suspicious. Keep your hands above your waist. Keep your hands on the hood of the car. Keep your fingers locked behind your head. Take your foot off the gas pedal. Keep your feet more than shoulders width apart. Keep your eyes on the ground. Do not stare defiantly into the officer's eyes. Do not call out in pain when his knee is on your neck. Do not call out in pain when his knee is on your neck. Do not call out in pain when his knee is on your neck. Do not call out for your mother when his knee is on your neck. Go limp like a rag doll when they grab you. Do not bristle when the officer cups your vagina. If you find yourself being black on a Saturday night, don't.
When victims go dark, the lights is out in Sanford. 'Cause Florida nigga, they just roll that way. They stand their ground, refuse to back down as though they were a Category 5 hurricane, seeking retribution and innocence. And everybody know black teenage boys always get away with suspicious behavior, like chatting with girlfriends and wearing dark villainy for camouflage when rain falls upon that sunshine state, that great state where they chad their presidential ballots beneath a smoldering bush. Black teenage boys best run. They best run fast from them name brand bullets, them pre-named bullets, and suspecting vigilantes whose testimony is like a Venus flytrap. Everybody know black teenage boys can run. Black teenage boys can run fast, but they can't outrun the dark. Inside melanin or nightmares masquerading in human forms, stop. Where is your hall pass? How you get off the plantation for news, called a press conference to incriminate blacks in hoodies. Whenever you enter neighborhoods of convenience for Skittles, it's impossible for black men to stay dry. Their temporalness washed away with thick red fluid. We disappear like the landscape of law and order. We disappear like ashy soldiers standing at attention next to an amputated jukebox. The lights were blown out in Sanford, Florida, nigga, where injustice poses an imminent threat. So run away. Run away in black pants that sweat. Run away. Run away black like contraband. Run away black into trapdoors in silence, but you can't outrun gun control in the NRA. Can't defend yourself against the inertia of the inevitable. Black teenage boys are always underneath a neighborhood watch. Always test subject for laws flawed at birth and historical context. Mama, can you come and get me? I'm being followed by false leads in my birthrights. Searchlights and profiles have transformed me into a 2D hologram. Daddy, come and get me. The night is chasing me down where my blood is frozen on the pavement. My bones are arranged like 17 confessions, screaming face down like the quiet of murder. Everybody know. Everybody know black men ain't good for nothing. Ain't good for nothing except glossy pine boxes, incarceration. 911. 911, my name is Trayvon Martin. Can you please help me return home? Self-defense conceals its judicial privilege, then shoots the 6-foot unarmed shadow. 911. My name is Trayvon Martin. Please help me. I'm trying to return home. Daddy's expecting me back. Yes. I'm clicking the heels of my sneakers. Three times. I won't go out after dark. I won't go out after dark. I won't go out after dark. When victims go dark, justified homicides are the neon chalk for silhouettes. When victims go dark, 911 is never an adequate color for response. Trayvon, are you still there? Do you still need help? 911, my name is Kenneth Chamberlain. When victims go dark.
Rest, stillness, joy, beauty, freedom, sanctuary. For the 3/5 before me, not considered human enough to. I'm so tired of the policing of black bodies. I'm so tired of the policing of black bodies. I'm so tired of the policing of our bodies. so tired of the policing of us. So at dawn, we Velcro wings to spine. We duct tape images that refuse to forget why they are here. We lay blue feather next to cotton, a nod to sky and flight to remembering. Sun leans in, whispers name of first ballad, and we soft shoot through quiet. Keep dancing, knowing it will not last, and no one is coming to save us. Keep dancing, keep dancing. The music is picking up. We center ourselves, find our rhythm. We Sammy on tightrope. Keep dancing, avoiding monsters and the net below, sponsored, gifted, and guarded by them, patiently waiting to feed on one whose timing is off. Keep dancing, 'cause she say you can tell a lot about a culture by looking at its monsters. Keep dancing. So we rubber-legging, cakewalking, gliding, dragging, shimmying. Keep dancing. We jigging, buck and winging, moonwalking, shuffling and pop-locking. Keep dancing. We smiling and checking. We praying wings stay put. Keep dancing. Oh, we fear falling and flying. Keep dancing. 'Cause they shoot at sky. And beautiful black birds brave enough to try freedom, if only for a moment. So we keep dancing. We dance.
Can we give our percussionists a hand? Yo. Can we give all these poets a hand for those incredible poems? And this is what it means to do liberation work with language, right? Sometimes we think, what can I do? Coming from Kalamazoo, Michigan, young wannabe poet, and it was like, what could I do? And then I just started writing. And then moving to Los Angeles in 1987, I was 18, and it was like, what could I do? And then I started going to the World Stage in Leimert Park, and the World Stage became this place to show us what we could do with language, right? What we could do to impact what was happening in the streets in the ghettos, in any neighborhood where we were stopped, frisked, suspected, any store, Latasha Harlins. We can go down the list of names. But this is what we do. We fight with our words, with our language. We are literary activists, right? And you can do this as well. You can do this as well. So this concept for this evening, the Black Lives Matter evening, it came from the ancestors. It was like, you have to have a night in LA where you are honoring these folks, you are honoring those people who have passed, who have crossed. Every other day in the news, we see something new, something different. We can't even name all the names. But we wanted to come here to honor these people, these folks, our people, and to celebrate us, celebrate our resilience, celebrate our survival with language. So give yourselves a hand for being here. And I have to thank the entire crew as well. We've got sound, film, Stuart. Thank you so very much. The orchestrator, all the camera folks, Rachel, Canyon, everybody who has contributed to this evening. Thank you. And afterwards, we also have merch. We've got books. So if you'd like to hear more of what we're doing, you can go to our tables and support our work. So we're very grateful. And now we are going to begin with our next poet.
I'm gonna try, y'all. Conney made me cry. So let's see how this goes. They shot Jacob on Kobe's birthday. And I wonder where Jacob's people were from before the Great Migration carried them north. Maybe they from down round Cane River like my people. Blake is a family name for me. I am 2 black men removed from being Bridgette, Bianca, Blake. One man, a young bull who married a baby doll, a Blake who turned out 7 youngins, 4 boys and 3 girls, one of which my mother. Took my father's last name, who has his mother's last name, and I never knew his father, a black man removed before I even knew he was in this world, and Kobe was my father's favorite. And when he was a black man removed from this world, my father whispered, he felt like my son. And he mourned a man he never met but watched grow up on television. I wonder what will happen to the youngest Bryant girls when they grow up and watch Kobe on television without him in this world and realize they never really knew their father. We'll never teach them to fly with a basketball like Gigi, who flew with him that Sunday morning. And who will teach Jacob's sons how to fly? Will they remember their father like Christopher Reeves is still Superman even from a chair? Will they ever forget? 7 is the number of completion. On the 7th day, our Father, which art in heaven, rested. And it was a Sunday. Kobe's birthday was a Sunday, and he died on a Sunday. And maybe Jacob taught them to call on ancestors to guide them, to yell Kobe when they took a paper shot at a wastebasket. It was a Sunday when the officer took 7 shots into Jacob's back in front of his son's faces, pressed against the window or the floor of the car, too scared to call on the ancestors or to believe Superman could save them. An exasperated black woman says, fuck it, I'll do it. That woman is me, okay. It is fall. I have recently buried a loved one. It is the morning after the election. You are disheveled and teary. You assume the pain in my eyes is yours. You hug me, a stranger. You say, it's so good to talk to someone who understands. I don't remember speaking. I don't remember your face, stranger. Later, I only realize I am crying by the look on my students' faces. This is not a poem. It is still fall. Someone drove past my window and shouted, fucking niggers, and only I seem to hear. It is a few days after the election. You come to me for confession. You are mad at yourself for being so naive. I tell you, the word nigger is a threat to my safety. You are late and have to go, and I am alone again. This is my life. It is spring. I have buried another loved one. I feel faint after yawning. It is months after the election. You are growing angrier every day. You ask me if I feel the same. I'd been invisible, but now I was useful, so I say, I am a black woman, and I am invisible again. This is not a poem. It is almost summer. You blurt out, ever since the election, you wake up wanting to kill yourself, and you laugh. This is my life. It is fall. 194 black people have been shot and killed by the police. 73 more than the last time I read this poem. What will the number be by winter? This is actually not a poem. I had a student whose father, Terry, was shot in the head while laying face down with his hands cuffed behind his back. The police pursued him because he didn't have a proper reflective light on his bicycle. This is my life. You may have noticed, I like to use my hands when I speak. This can be seen as aggressive, and I might frighten you into killing me. This is not a poem. Do you understand how taboo it is for black women like me to go to therapy? Because we are supposed to be strong for everyone. This is my life. I am sorry that you only realized the world was fucked up when your sisters wanted with their white skin and not their pink pussies. This is not a poem. While you vomit angst into my lap, forgive me for not holding back your hair in solidarity. This is my life, so I'm a little busy. And who will be next? We keep planting these black bodies over and over again, hoping they'll bring us fruit one day. But all I see are rows and rows of smoke. All I smell is tear gas, not flowers. Someone is telling us to move on, to push our worries back into the earth, but what are we to do with these bones? We till this soil for the new season, forgetting last year's attempts, and there, these black bodies gleaming white in the sun, these bones just won't stay down. And now I play Black Mama crying over dead son. Now I lay me down to weep, my body next to a body of my body, next to my boy. Can I return him to me? I mop his blood with my hands. Can I absorb him? Can I make him over again? If I lie still as he, maybe death will take me, but leave me dead instead. Can I cup his face and scream air back into his lungs so he can catch my breath as his breath? Am I not the wind? He is my world. Surely I am just a moon. Surely he is the sun, but he is so cold. Give us this day. Death is our daily bread. Joshua Williams was murdered in front of my home 3 days before Father's Day. I was on my way to buy my father a gift. I wonder if Joshua had a daughter. I wonder if she made him a colorful construction paper tie like I once made my father. Joshua Williams was murdered in front of my father. He was tending the garden, my father. I heard Joshua had a gun. Maybe it was in his waistband. Maybe it was the pocket of his hoodie. Maybe it was just the other boys shooting. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I just smelled his insides splashed across the outsides. I passed his sneaker in the street. I have to confess, this is a selfish-ass poem. I have blushed at so many boys with guns in their waistbands. I have said, have a good day to my father so many mornings. Sometimes I fall asleep praying for God to bless each member of my family, worried that if I don't say their names, God might snatch them from me before I wake. I wonder if Joshua ever said his prayers that way. I read the LA Times homicide report for fun. I read the LA Times homicide report so I can stop being afraid. I am desensitized as a safety mechanism. I live somewhere between orange and red alert. James Baldwin was right. I am in a constant state of rage. Joshua Williams was murdered in front of where my heart is. I have been holding back a scream in fear. The scream has died and is now just the air used to read this. I am afraid the air will go away. I am afraid the air will expel. I am afraid the air is a black exhaust. I am black and exhausted. And it took me 2 months to stop hiding in the bathroom every time my father walked outside. I think it took a bit longer for my mother to stop watching him from the window. Sometimes I think she still does, looking when she thinks we're not. I wonder how long it took Joshua's girl. I wonder how long it took Joshua's mother. I wonder how long it took Joshua's future to stop looking for him. Thank you. And I got one more piece for y'all. Thank you so much. I want the world to see when Emmett Till was murdered, his mother, Mamie Till, decided, which is a controversial decision even today, to let his face be seen by the media, be seen by the public. And when people asked her this, and they asked her this until she died, why would you do that? She said, I want the world to see. This is what racism looks like. 7, I don't get to talk about my body hitting the ground or the hands that pinned me there. Everybody else gets to body bag me, slip me out when they are bored, fidget spin me, and see if I'm as pliable as their laws. See if the black woman really is the mother of the world. Explore my womb looking for the Big Bang or God. Am I making you uncomfortable? 6, did you know Planned Parenthood offers more than abortions? Did you know WIC don't pay for diapers? Did you know formula is expensive? And I can't breastfeed my baby in private because I have to work. And I can't breastfeed my baby in public because you only like my titties when they're bouncing in your face. Am I making you uncomfortable? 5, judging me for putting juicy juice in my toddler's sippy cup. Like I got time to worry about high fructose corn syrup and artificial food coloring. When you just legalized marijuana, but my son is still getting stopped and frisked. How dare you paint white mothers hooked on opioids with the finest brushes and oils? After you slammed me into the concrete so many times I couldn't help but have crack babies, am I making you uncomfortable? 4, you take my kids, send them hurtling across the universe, lie and call them shooting stars when you know they're just plummeting asteroids. And you judge me because my babies made craters they can't lift themselves out of by their bootstraps, because you cut those too. Am I making you uncomfortable? 3, due to a surplus of black children, they are inexpensive to adopt. People treat cheap things like they are disposable, like drive a car full of black children over a cliff. Am I making you uncomfortable? 2, this is what it feels like to be a woman in a land more concerned with putting restrictions on my pussy than assault rifles. This is what it feels like to be anything but white in a country that values Confederate monuments more than my child's flesh. Am I making you uncomfortable? 1, good. Title, this is why Mamie left Emmett's casket open. Thank you. I'm littering.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. Give it up for Bridgette Bianca, you guys. His nickname was Bobo. Bobo crooned Mississippi, goddamn, before Nina ever find 4 women and her voice beneath a piano stool tuned with indignation. He do it from a nippy Tallahatchie, riding a big old rusty cotton gin fan and blowing harder than Chicago doo-wop. According to nigger theology, Money, Mississippi be the garden of evil. Word is, it be Satan's birthplace. Now, even he afraid to vacation there. That's cause his bastard Jim Crow severed the birth of darkness, preached that gospel according to white privilege. Jehovah's children exodus on that daily 11:10 to Canaan from Lower Egypt. But them southbound engines starts to stutter close to Jackson. Steel tracks gots to vomit somewhere. Matter of fact, Mississippi mean regurgitate in Swahili. Summer ain't never been no time for Chicago blues or visit Delta juke joints or general stores owned from poor ignorant half brothers. Too much humidity for colored folk to breathe the way they supposed to. Heard tell you can smell segregation soon as you hit red clay dirt. Odor like that of wet dogs in a schoolhouse on a July rain. Open unpaved roads and 10 rooftops and outdoor toilets ain't enough to hold a teenager's attention, especially Bobo and them pretty teeth of his. That boy always in the middle of something, pulling pranks and making his belly dance, almost miss his boxcar. Mama, you act like I ain't never coming back. Baby, you just remember how you supposed to act. See, act right some homeschooling. All niggas, especially Mississippi niggas, get degreed in, but they never graduate. See, Bobo pick cotton, stare down race signs, his $5 eyes ain't never seen before. Don't pay that no never mind. All he thinking about is his Southside jungle fruit and some penny candy. See, young and old boys, they brag when they done got some, even when they lie about it. And the only Southern white girls liking black boys in 1955 were the mothers of Hank Williams and Elvis. Sometimes Sunday ain't got nothing to do with the Sabbath, especially for 14-year-old naive black bravado. Cal and Brian said Bobo called her baby, said he touch her hand, grab her waist. He say, I ain't mean no harm. Hell, she ain't look that damn good anyhow. And Negro history in America is premeditated. August 28, 1955, only come black lifetime. Listen, the White Citizen Council, they never RSVP. They access his guns and entitlement. They interrogate Bobo until they pick up. Then they chase the humans still asleep in us. How you supposed to close your eyes when Willie Lynch wake you up at 2 a.m.? What type of currency you can pay for a nigga in Money, Mississippi? See, J.W. and Roy didn't show Bobo no favors. Say that boy think he just as good as white folk. And Bobo showed him pictures of his Chicago snowflakes. They transformed him into a 50s impressionist statue. No eyes, no teeth, no ears. They reversed the ballad that sung on his tongue. They opened his skull to some white light. What make a mother's bones tremble? When a son's body is rising above flood stage. When a person-to-person call is really collect. And the local sheriff, he wants to bury Bobo like gossip. But Miss Mamie's color is the color purple, and bloated caskets can't be secreted. And Miss Mamie transformed her horror into a national monument. And 4 a.m. stutters from Emmett's Bashful Memorial, and the world weeps, but not in Eisenhower. What reparations is adequate salve for devastation? And the odor of Bobo's breath ain't none but halitosis on the breath of America's immunities. Mississippi's dirty little secret is exposed. But what was they supposed to do? Wasn't it worth it to quiet that little boyish Brown? What's Disney supposed to do when Snow White is threatened by the dog villain? Especially a 14-year-old dog villain. Everybody loves Disney endings. Everybody loves. What was white folks supposed to do? What was white folks supposed to do when Emmett Till decided to visit Money in Mississippi and a white mother burned her bacon and put on lipstick? We all need some joy. When I was growing up in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, house party. Honey-coated black teenagers conjuring sweet Tabasco magic. That was a 70s Friday night house party, transforming hungry adolescents into shafts, Superfly, Foxy Brown via platform shoes, double-knit bell-bottom plants. And the music leaking from the house was a compass. It gave aching bodies direction with each elongated step. It drowned us with anticipation. The lush taste of ebony desire rested real gentle on our mind like Big Mama on the front porch, rocking in her favorite chair, steady, lemonade always in arm's reach. We craved a dance with immortality, and it caused our hearts to salivate. See, Ernest's mom had just bought that wall-to-wall stereo. Wax 45 stacked and dropped in rotation. Cheap diamond needles scratching the vinyl. We didn't know no better. We just wanted to hear the music that put dents in our backs. Created lather between our legs. It gave meaning to our everyday, and we always got a daily dose of soul. And pre-adult perspiration dropped like summer rain upon the doorway. No expression or attempt to escape the sugary thickness inside a living room of congealed funk, alive and clinging to our bodies like maple syrup poured from the mouth of a mason jar. Smells like sweet, sticky sex, and each participant tries to catch their breath, and sparks fly even with the lack of oxygen, and stars are splitters the sky with like indelible ink. It was a hot night in a Louisiana summer, brimming with youthful possibility, but there were never many sightings of that, and I saw few escape the reign of despair that exists within Shreveport city limits. This was an extraordinary night when a young black Southern boy not only realized his doubted sexuality, but caught a vision beyond his life axis, keeping time on the corner of Long and Doris Street. Now, me and my boy Luther and Lee Arthur followed the fresh scent of female adolescents along tarred streets and shortcuts through the back of Mr. Polo's store and duplex. Our faces were stained with high karate, and our back pockets were filled with miniature liquor bottles we five-finger discounted from Walgreens so we could party in our right mind. And I was that too smart kid who already knew too much. At 15, I was filled with hometown naivete, and I lived on the hope of change, and I lived vicariously through the teenage exploits of others. It seemed an eternity before I grew more than inches and finally grown to know real cool. Now, Lee Arthur was my best friend, and girls, they called us Cat Eyes. He was a prince among commoners with 3 sports letters. His hair was parted off center, and he had a driver's license. I never told him that he was my hero, and I never understood why he quit football his senior year. Now, Luther was a court jester, ghetto comedian with Native American cheekbones and dark as coal. He had a way of settling fist disputes via fist diplomacy. He kicked my ass a few times, but he always had my back. And it's hard to believe that Teeny Weenie's dad emptied a gun into him over change for a 10. And Vietnam was closing shop. And the Beatles were saying, just let it be. Yet all the world I ever wanted to know was inside that front door. A mixture of sweat and funk percolating. Gladiators of grooves with their bodies chasing away the fear of inhibitions. The beat undulated the crowd. It hypnotized us with each note, and it pounded rhythms into our spine. And there was Pam Board in a dim kitchen corner, my 7th grade crush, all grown up, but puberty never granted me the courage to even approach her beauty. And the dance floor was a Jehovah's Witness recruiter. It was drafting every person who was willing to open the door, then sucked them into a black hole of funk. And each melody insisted that we stomp our feet beneath Al Green moans and Temptation harmonies. They created an urban earthquake. See, God must have created house parties the day after he showed Eve to Adam, and dancing is the teenage prayer, and arms were flailing, and backs were arched, and asses were in flight, and earthbound angels reaching for something divine, and distant lover manifest in the form of slow drags, and hard-ons grow from slow encounters, and girls' thighs part like the Red Sea, and at the rising of each young Moses' staff, and grinding is a teenage prayer, and it causes phone numbers to rain from 8-foot ceilings, and Benny Ray has Carrie Mae slipping into darkness, wishing that curfew was 12 o'clock till 11:30, and a stovetop kiss got me thinking I'm chosen. But I'm still 2 virgin summers shy of self-confirmation. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna do one more poem and get out of you guys' way. I'm gonna get a drink of water. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for having me. I am so wired up, man. This is, oh my God. I'm like, where do I put all this energy, man? This is what happens when you sign up for Medicare. Thank you, guys. I saved my tears for weddings and presidential elections while America the Beneficent thrusts anthems up my spleen. This pasty ballad of deprecation without representation, God bless Old Glory with sufficient stars and stripe to vandalize my person until even bowels lose their allegiance. I am a casualty of domestic terrorism, and the transparency of America's image casts no reflection. And although lynchings are no longer the rage at picnics, state-sanctioned genocide suffice. Prison systems compete with the Atlantic for who holds the most slaves on death row. We live in an era of democracy. Afflicted dissidents borrow retribution, then blow up U.S. entitlement and self-appreciation. And the 3 blind mice, they are completely outraged. There is no spare change for self-imposed tragedies, and this nation was bankrupt before its depression because misconceived foreign citizens sweated this economy through the blood of their capitalism. So let me sign on that dotted line. Let me sign, make my mark below Jefferson and Hancock. Oh, okay. Silhouettes and profiling require that you know your place, so assume the nigger position. Keep your eyes on the national policy. You are getting very sleepy. You will not see what you really know. Clasp your hands behind your head. Lift every voice and sing. Join in the organ grinder's tune. This is America's favorite sing-alongs. Say, can you see by the dawn's early plight? New political pimps occupy opaque condominiums, federally funded on Pennsylvania Avenue. They pray like pious prostitutes, but they don't use condoms. They train and arm their adversaries to kill their offspring. We are a third world soldier who don't cry in public, and mistaken identity is what aborts freedom. And the national opinion is infected with the syphilis of patriotism, preaching the imminent eulogy for just us, and we are the offspring of Emmett Till, still breathe the muddy water of incarnation. The purple and tattered, bartered existence is the congealed breath of intended victims. So, let me sign on that damn dotted line. Let me sign, make my mark below Jefferson and Hancock. Oh shit, let me sign. Please let me sign on the dotted line. Let me sign, then make my mark below Jefferson and Hancock. We are America's unsolved national homicide. Where is the milk carton campaign to locate my ancestors? Their admonition is, forget your Holocaust. Continue to smile for the camera. Smile for the camera. While the Republic eats its young to support their humanitarian efforts, their balance to budget for their domestic foreign policies in order to sacrifice their homegrown aliens. And this is the bastard image of U.S. hypocrisy. But things will be different. Things will be different. Things will be different when we get back to the ideas of the baby daddies of the Constitution. Things will be different when we get back to the ideas of the baby daddies of the Constitution. Then I remember. Then I remember. We didn't have founding fathers. Only motherfuckers. Let me sign on that dotted line. Let me sign, make my mark. Let me make my mark below Jefferson and Hancock. Let me sign. I sign it.
Tell the whole truth. Good evening. Y'all look so beautiful. Right? Coming on down, y'all look beautiful. Wow. There are pieces of me scattered in villages, on paths that lead to dungeons and doors of no return. There are pieces of me scattered in bows of ships and water. My bones lie at rest, but the spirit still yearns. There are pieces of me scattered across continents and auction block corners. My pain is entertainment. My pain is entertainment. My skin and limbs are souvenirs. My skin and limbs are souvenirs, so I have come to gather me. I have come to gather me. Because nothing you declare sacred works for me now. No Orisha, no blood sacrifice, no holy oil or hymnal, no counting of beads, no confessions of my sins, but I do have questions about yours. I wonder if those who kidnapped and sold my ancestors, yeah, them. I wonder if they worship the same gods or shared features marking presence of bloodline and song. Wonder if bones crack the same way when forced in steel. What was precious enough to hold on to, wrap in prayer and hum into memory, grown into heart and other spaces Europeans could not examine? Wonder what wisdom and rituals crossed them waters. I wonder who the fuck they looking for. Could probably find them right over here, but I digress. What wisdom and rituals, Curtis, crossed them waters? Did Ifa Christian Methodist Episcopal requirement of white flour signal mama was with Oya or white Jesus? Did Ifa Christian Episcopal Methodist requirement of white flour signal mama was with Oya or white Jesus? We all should have worn them because Mother Africa was dead to us. But somehow these lips survived, hair still a raised fist, defying gravity, lynching, and reconstruction of humanity. Somehow these black bodies survived. Somehow these black bodies survived Jim Crow, Mr. Charlie, Miss Daisy, Nat and Sammy's conks, C.J. Walker's hot comb, ultra sheen perms, cruel your hair so nappy jokes, and the never-ending white gaze of disapproval and water. Somehow Africa keeps showing up through it all. And so now I'm wondering if with Ifa, I'm trying to figure out who voice I'm listening to, who tongue I'm learning. Bloodlines crossed out through history, how I know they righteous. 'Cause nothing you declare sacred works for me now. Especially not your white Jesus, not the God of Abraham or Joseph or 5%ers, not Muhammad or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Yeshua, Buddha, or Kuan Yin. Only nature and laughter, love and coffee, candle and Merlot, Sassy and Brownie's April in Paris, and Curtis Robertson Jr.'s bass and the sound of his guitar. I miss sitting between black women's knees, the ritual of mapping, each part manicured boulevard, each braid gathers a generation's dreams, heartache, resignation, and joy. Each strand carries directions for navigating stars and white people, carrying memory of po folk who slumbered on dirt floors together, creating future who giggled and hopscotched in red clay yards, manicured by women sweeping with horsetails while dancing Agbakor when Massa said, hush. Oh, he thought we couldn't read. But it was him who couldn't understand dialect of black bodies in motion, communicating war oaths, the lay of cowrie and bones, cola nut, blood, and pyramids. Didn't catch the genius in patchwork that warmed us under stars and pointed to way out of no way. Couldn't understand because the code was cracker-proof by blood-stained needles, stitching prayer and freedom in every square. Couldn't read patterns that told our story, chapter and verse of our journey, patterns in leaves we mixed with collards and last rites, because some of us fought back. So when you feeling out of sorts, sister, disconnected, lost, remember that scalp is GPS, directions to get you home to your own beauty, your own tongue, your own knowledge, wisdom, God, your own self. Just in case you didn't hear grandma the first time, didn't quite get granddaddy's heavy sigh, or misread our ancestors' instructions mapped across night sky. Yeah. We're gonna take you on a little journey through my hometown of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yeah, I'm Southern all the way. Twin City. Little story about I grew up in liquor houses. I don't know if y'all know what that is. But we didn't have liquor by the drink in North Carolina until probably like mid-'80s. So you had to go to liquor houses, and you had your sophisticated liquor houses where all the pretty ladies hung out and dressed to the nines and ate their fried fish with hot sauce delicately. And then you had the liquor house that my cousin Thorny Mae had. Hey, where they gambling and, you know, fried fish, chicken, a lot of other stuff. Hot clothes, you know, you ain't had any till you, with sweet linen, you know. Boosters is what they used to call them, I think. Yeah. Rickety house, dirt yard, dusty path. You gots to be sure-footed in billows of unsteady and lack. Splintered porch rails ain't for baby hands or tender hearts. We hold our tongues here. We let floorboards groan and holler for us. We learn the dance of being stepped on here. We practice the art of sucking teeth and tucking screams in roof of mouth until it's safe to spit. Generations later, creaky steps, signal company, Mr. Green here collecting rent, bosom money and favors when Annie Mae come up short. He shoe fly her cheering cause they disrupting, and she spit when he leave for her great-great-grandmother. project house. Nobody loved wee mama enough to claim her or us, but she knew who we belonged to. Could tell who your daddy was by how you walk or laugh. No pedigree here, we all bastards. Creaky steps signal company. Mr. Daniel here collecting furniture payment and favors when Lucille come up short. She suck her teeth, open the door with a pot of hot grits, say, we bring your money to you from now on. As a chorus of ricocheted off of porches defying Southern understanding. They meant what she said. They had hot grits standing by too, and they spit while he's still there for their great-grandmothers. Liquor house, high-five Bobcat, Daddy-O on the patio, WD's bonefish fried hard, pity pat and brown liquor make you question the truth that raised you. Uncle Bud blurting out who your daddy ain't. Scooter numbers come up short. He's steady talking shit though, till Cousin Willie show up with a 45 fresh out of favors. Police here collecting statements cause Scooter Whitehoe done come up missing. No pedigree here. We all criminals, bastards, stepped on with no knowledge of his Whitehoe or his whereabouts. But we know where the screams are. We know which shorelines and town squares and auction block corners in those big yards planted beside oak trees and tween branches. In the pockets of children carrying our skin and teeth as souvenirs. We know where the screams are. Underneath pews, tucked between psalms, on back roads that witnessed our dragging by horses and trucks, behind courthouse steps, in the tears wiped on jail cell walls, in the Negro cloth that remembers the rape. We know where the screams are. Sherwood Forest home, Miss Reynolds, was left collecting herself on floors. My grandma Macy refused to scrub with the toothbrush she favored. Long walk now, sure-footed, steady, crossing railroad tracks, spitting, past the liquor house, spitting, past the project house, spitting, the rickety house. She spit all the way home. And when she climbed those creaky steps, she spit for her grandmother, for her mother, for herself. That's it.
Y'all, I don't want a revolution. I am one. My mind evolved the Fibonacci spiral. If I can figure out where I'm at, I can calculate from which I came, then some future. More past till I recognize the present replay. Past more till I find divine duplicate. I found the wrinkle in time, observed it from the mothership. Beam me up from where the thoughts came. I came. I got African eyes, Osiris in my right brain. I don't want a revolution. I am one. My mind evolved the Fibonacci spiral. A Sirius type orbit. Nothing on the planet more bit than applied mathematics and that sauce shit. Capitalized and seized. Maybe you'll get it if I spit it like Aziz. We need more mysteries in these verses, please. Less cursing and more bless them with the lessons. School's in session. Take them. Take them back to where the numbers were the language. And we was all sixes. Now get this. I'm a sphere with a spear. You brothers better stand clear, cause my energy is extraterrestrial. Gold almond, atom to atom. Elder sun disk, raise the obelisk. Certain frequencies need black stone to transmit. Black sand, the black mind, maybe the old chemic, all your chemistry, alchemy shit. Turn the sun to gold, gold to sun, that's my melanin. Turn the sun to gold to sun, and that's my melanin. That's a high metaphor. Please raise your consciousness. Past the concrete, move into the concept. I don't want a revolution. I am one. I got 2 books. 3 of them are over there. I got 2 books. 3 books is over there. You know what I mean? Why must we fall into winter so cold? I hear of men that radiate, that absorb, with skin that make flesh photosynthesize, carbons into oxygen. They breathe like trees do, exhale mercy on oppressors. Carbon like coal, they burn to absorb. Fire that would destroy, eternal like snakes symbolize. Shed skin and forever young, summer make black, and black don't crack. How old are they? Darkness is still a great mystery. Are they those the divine people that raised the Buddha? Nagas they were called, those minds that brought knowledge and had monasteries built in their memory. Monsoon come hither, India, said Ethiopia, and they home again. The strongest winds are named after them. Masters of monsoons and also overland trade routes. Negus they called themselves, rulers and architects each of them. Prophets and sons of light, they so dark they absorb it and radiate on the world. Those Nagas called themselves so greeting in peace. Sounds like niggas to the ignorant, over time nigger. In ignorance they corrupted the meaning also, like the names of our prophets they preached from the books we wrote, stories we told our children, metaphors the sciences coded for more melanin. My people perish for a lack of knowledge, undereducated on purpose. Now ignorance spreads corruption. Now niggas they call themselves, effectively they have forgotten themselves. Effectively, what we recognize as royalty is a curse here. Some of my Nagas want to ban our title because of the corruption. So should I let my negus go? I will never let my negus go. Yeah. So I got a bunch of short poems, you know what I mean? My joints is short. This poem by my grandma. She died several years ago. I wrote down the wrong page number, that's funny. Maybe I won't do that one. Maybe that's a sign. All right, here we go. They boys. They play fight and slap box, use foul language, tell mama jokes, get defensive when they go too far. Them boys, they often go too far, trying to prove themselves as men that they aren't yet. Sex self-educated, single parent raised, they boys, often on the same wrong road as their brothers. Mothers cry for them, so they are here, far from home and freedom. Freedom got them detained. No one restrained them, boys, so they are here. Teaching me about the hood that we escaped from. I gave my mother something extra on Mother's Day in memory of these boys I teach, trying to reach and extract them. Their mentality reaches my tear ducts. Faces feature in my prayers. They just boys like I was once. I hope they become better men than I am now. Teaching poetry is often halted when I question, why are you here? How long? How does this feel? Bars can't hold their dreams. I give them paper, teach them to write. Others how to spell simple words. No, girl is spelled with an I, not a U. Some too gangster to ask or write emotion, so they draw. I wonder if they draw what they hear. If that is the case, I hope they are listening. I got a story to tell, not just a lesson to teach. Not a preacher, but this is spiritual, parables, divinity and hood abstracts. Them boys asked me to write about them. I didn't know where to start. Now I don't know where to end. See, I teach poetry at a detention camp for boys. Twice a week I see them. Happy to see them smiling, at least when I come. Saddened to see them smiling, hear them joking about doing the same thing that got them boys here when they get out. Really, I'm just saddened to see them at all. Bars aren't the place for boys and animals. One of the boys said they are animals. I refuted him, saddened that I even had to. I leave them tired because I care more. I wish they had no time. I wish we had more time. They boys. This joint right here, This is my new book, While Seated. It's 40 poems for my 40th birthday, which just passed in July. I am the inaugural poet laureate of Pomona. I wrote all 40 of these poems during my tenure as the laureate of Pomona. Check this out. It's a good book. All right. That's my one plug. That's my plug right there. You got to tell them it's a good book so they know that it's a good book. You know what I'm saying? We still black and achieving. We still black and moving. We still black and empowered from within. We still black and believing. We still black and knowing that history is to be studied. It's not over, that black history is still in our making, that there have been many remakings and remarkings and remarks and red marks on maps to keep us out of homes, positions and positioning. We still black and positioning. We still black and remembering, Sankofa and forward thinking. We still black history in the making of and in ourselves, many firsts again. Innovations and inaugurations spawn from self and creations and imaginations made manifest. We still black in evidence of solar power and magic is movement. We still black and moving. We still black and waiting through these waters, through these times of trouble. We still find peace somehow through these struggles or seek the understanding of constantly coming back to the truth that our story is not over, that black history is still in our making, that our history is making ourselves into who we want to be or need to be out of necessity or faith, often both. Some parents call it hope for the children who are still our future now, and black like we still and forever will be, one with darkness, deep space, and thick waters, blackness, dark stars, and the origin of every light and spectrum of hue. Some black like purple, some black as blue, some dark and red, some tan and sand. It's time and again for the wise woman and the strong man to plan and come together and multiply and not again be divided by internal fears or external struggles. Once we climb by step, now we climb by tears. Historically, ours is the technology of ancient engineers, an alchemy without a peer, chemically complex, DNA providing antidotes or antivenom, an antivirus or the serum. With minds on mathematics, we calculate the ETA on GPS and Haney's truths on the internet. We had a World Wide Web once, and Akasha records connected us to each other, to the ancestors, by the air, by the water, and all frequencies that move. We still black and catcher of these currents. We still black and setting trends in this current. We move through this world as waves, becoming particles of light. When not observed, we black again. I'm happy to be here. Word up. This poem right here is called A Northeastern Star. I wrote this poem around, I guess I have enough time to read both of them. My poems aren't that long, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about Harriet and our ancestors, and they was running toward the Northern Star. And I was like, all right, what about the Northeastern Star? Because I got like an Eastern mind. So here we go. How's it start? That's my thing. If I can't remember how it starts. There it is. It's time we took knowledge itself more seriously. With a double dose of wisdom and all the understanding we can muster, it is with a clear view of history in which we see ourselves now. And just as the now we know what time it is, time for black family, black arts, and black biz. Time to reclaim what's stolen. Time to claim land some thought desolate. We'll make it golden. Could be now, some just ain't holding it right. We have to keep it right and exact, especially what we have right now is not. For us, it is always like summer. It is always hot. My fingertips tend to sweat a little bit when I see the cops. My heart stops for Floyd, Trayvon, and Tamir. My stomach drops for more because Zimmerman is still here. I want to slip into my lowest nature every time there's a new video with no new charges, no at-larges, just further taxation without representation. How is it that you want my peace and deny my justice? Sandra didn't kill herself, and if I die in police custody, I didn't either. We choose to remember the 5th of November, forget July, just as some remember how the Romans stole scriptures, forget July, just as some remember our middle passage to your colonies of liberty. Why does it still give us free? Where's our Lady Liberty? Where's our land and land grants? Didn't we work this ground? Didn't we till this soil? Were we not your first wealth? Are we not your first oil? Hey, yo, my blood boils? How many saviors shackled up in a hole with Mumia? How many mama messiahs had birth in bondage but didn't escape like Asada? When they ask me to sing a song, it won't be kumbaya. My tone more like a Lord come by ya with brimstone and fire and expire. Every judge sitting in injustice and every lawyer ignoring the facts and law in a melanated instance. And every cop that ever fabricated a flaw, give them the full extent of the law. And that will make a better Juneteenth. Then I might see July 4th. Until then, I'll keep my mind to the east and my eye to the north. Peace.
Wow. You can keep that. I like that. Oh, I'm caught. This is how I roll, y'all. All my clothes come with me. It's like it's poetry. Was Phyllis Wheatley's navel an outie? Timothy Fitch, her buyer, specifically directed the captain of the Phyllis not to take children or Africans whose navels protruded out. For some reason, this was unattractive to buyers, an unusual sight that scared them, a sign that this particular piece of property was either diseased or impure. After I read that, I looked at my navel. I would have been taken. 2, always start with the water crossing, with memory of juju and cassava. Cascade of fingers planting ancestors into daughters' hair like a map. Start with the cartography of us, not the losing. Start with songs like Puse Babadina. We wake every day infringed, disrelocated, looking over our shoulders for the forgotten refrains, for the refraction of choras and gree-gree in the silver sun, shells falling into the hands of elders as they trade. Always start with the water crossing when you remember us, with song and a prayer to lift us up out of posthumous fields and send us back to Igbo Landi, the place where we were first spun. 3, I never knew earth could be a fire under my tongue. Taste of gravel and grain in my food. Slavery, enslavement, slave, always the grit lodged in your contemporary eye. A thing you can never get out. Briar under the tongue you can never spit. I speak for the amnesia of 1,000 harnessed tongues, all mine now. In 1860, there are 4 million of us here. Africans bent at the stem. Did you feel the earth tremor when we landed? Laughed, cried, inhaled at the same time, shielding our water, salt, blood, shedding it into this Indian earth. Wasn't it all a kind of death, a kind of fire? 4, is Africa now filled with a continent of Audis? Those left behind, those whose defiant bellies saved them. I look for you in every face I see, little Phyllis. Seed child, the glass girl we see through history, named after a slave ship that dropped you here. Your very name, a rope around your neck. This kind of loss is a thing that cannot be unbraided. Ask Juneteenth, ask Galveston, ask Sandra, ask George, ask Eric, ask Trayvon, ask O'Shea, ask Tamir, ask Elijah. Who do you want to ask? Add your names. Who do you want to ask? Add your names. Because even when you are free, you are not. And after everything, after everything. Your navel hidden by a calico shift, the point of navigation home. For Ralph Yarl on Earth Day, and for my grandsons. If we love black boys like the earth, and I think I'll ask Curtis to give me some accompaniment. If we love black boys like trees, if we love their hair like parks, if we love their hands like desert flowers, if we love their shoulders like rainbows, their intellect, their dancing, their good grades like mountains, if we love them like geodesic rays of the sun, like fresh water pearls and cotton clouds that move like ghosts across this Indian sky, if we love them, if we knew we needed their laughter like rainwater, needed their tears like pollen and vibrating bees, if we held their cobalt, obsidian, tangerine, toffee, licorice bodies as tenderly as a silk night, if we cherished them like fly fishing in cold streams, if we loved them like sailing and football and your favorite sports like a magic trick you could never figure out, if we loved black boys like the earth, we wouldn't shoot them. We wouldn't shoot them on a porch for knocking on the wrong door. We wouldn't pull them over on lonely streets with tragic intent. We wouldn't stalk them on bikes in open spaces, in classrooms, in boardrooms, at liquor stores. If we loved them, if we loved black boys, if we loved them, death wouldn't haunt their James Baldwin dreams. We wouldn't fold them like squares in a box that we prayed over with every breath in our body. If we loved black boys like the earth, wrapped our whole bodies around them like an atmosphere, if we coveted them like the sun, the moon, the stars, kissed them under nascent tongues, if we loved them, we could see them. And if we can see them, we can save them. Black boys would be heirloom seeds we planted, waited our entire lifetimes to find, and we could plant and receive the earth with their music and watch them grow up. If we love black boys, if we loved black boys, they would know it. Thank you all for just being here, for staying. I'm so grateful. You know, this is, are you getting something tonight? Are you getting something out of it? Yes. You're gonna take it and tell somebody about this night? Yes, yes. This is what it means to build, right? This is what it means to be a part of the cosmos. I call this a living poem because something always happens. Black woman down. The breath. Sycamore spores and black girlhood calcified in copper memory. Inhale. Touch the bruise until it fades into a place that can never be seen again. Mama. Pour all your blood into a thimble and top it off with, why daddy always beating me? And when she grew up, shake that money maker, so she did. The breath is a swollen kiss in the eye of a tornado black woman. The breath is a copperhead snake under your stairs, black girl. The breath is 13 children that pushed themselves out of your body like beautiful bloody fists, but that black girl, child, sister, aunt, cousin, grandmother is still breathing. The middle passage breath, the breath that could kill us all. the concubine breath, they killed my son, my daughter for no reason breath. And I am returned. I am riding with my eyes closed in the hull of a slave ship, Portuguese slaver on top of me. I am releasing my spirit. I am out of body to survive this. I am riding on the salt water, riding and wishing and looking at the shark gazing at me to save us. I am riding with my eyes closed, seeing the granddaughter born of his Portuguese blood, but not his name, not his country. Under him, I am breathing. A historical footnote, a lost moccasin, broken teeth rattling in me. The breath is my childhood running in a grassy meadow, then dancing on colonized pimento seeds, but I will not die here. The breath is a circle of black women strung like garlands around your neck. The breath is a doppelganger asking, is that my breath or the breath that we breathe? The breath is wagon trail quiet. African slaves crawling against the Choctaw night, ant beds, river beetles in my hair, holding my urine so the dogs don't smell me. The breath is a beast, ravaging through the body like dragonflies in love. The breath is sugar water rolling through a black woman's body until we sleep. The breath is your black child asking you to keep your black power opinions and poems to yourself. The breath is a river crashing into the mounting side until there is a hole large enough for history to come through. The breath is Latasha Harlan's reaching for orange juice. The breath is Sandra Bland's rope silently singing. The breath is Eula May Love dropping the knife and turning. The breath is Nia Wilson's cheerleader's dreams escaping from her slit throat. The breath is Breonna Taylor sleeping in her bed. The breath is 8 bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 silver kisses ending her dreaming. The breath is a tree wishing away the noose, a chainsaw, the white gaze. The breath is Ketanji Brown Jackson answering senators' antebellum laced questions. But she will not die here. We will not die here. The breath is a black woman down, but we will not die here. So this is my last poem for the evening, and I was talking to my beautiful sister Nailah and asking her what poem to end this with. And this poem, I always say if you don't know some of the references in this poem, then you haven't been alive for the last 2 years in America. But it is a prayer. It is a prayer. Okay. Return the white breath to its black body. Return the bullet to its gun. Return the gun to its holster. Return the hand to its side. Return the officer to his car. Return the car to its garage. Return the key to its pocket. Return. Return. Return the scalding coffee to its pot. Return the hot dawn to the night. Return the sound of love making to the room, the child's lips to the father's cheek, the arrest warrant to the computer, the counterfeit $20 bill to its pocket. Return. Return. Return the knee to its straight position. Return the officer's body to the car. Return the car to the garage. Return the gas pump to the handle, the stars to the sky. Return. return. Return the anger to its pocket. Return the door to its closed position. Return the bells jingle to silence. Return the chokehold from his neck. Return the big man to his home. Return. Return. Return the taser to its holster. Return the rope from around her neck. Return the jail cell open. Return the sister to her car. Return her shadows to the night. Return. Return. Return the bullets from her door. Return their steps to the sidewalk. Return the SWAT team to the vans. Return the vans to the garage. Return the Skittles to the candy aisle. Return the boy to his room. Return the hoodie to its closet. Return. Return. Return the whip to its belt. Return the scars from her back. Return the hand to its side. Return our ships to the sea. Return our bodies to Africa. Return our bodies to Africa. Return the resources to the land. Return the mothers to the land. Return their tears to their eyes. Return their jewels to their hair. Return, return, return the moon to the earth's helix womb. Return the earth to the cosmos. Return the cosmos to the black body. Return, return. Thank you. We have one more communication.
This is a night of remembrance as we remember many who have lost their lives for many reasons because of the violence that this country has inflicted upon our people. So tonight, we want to ask each of you to call a name out of a person that you want to have remembered. I'm calling out the name of my niece, Shalandria Peoples. Return the breath. Call their name. Return their breath.
I want to applaud, this young lady in the pink sweatshirt. She's coming up to read a poem? Okay, yes. Come on over here. What you got? Come on, sis. What would you like to say?
thank everyone for coming.
Can you hear her?
I just want to thank everyone that came. And to everyone who spoke, I want you, all of you, to give them a big round of applause. They did so good. And I loved it. It was beautiful. And have a good night.
What she said. Thank you everyone for coming. Round of applause for Nailah, for David Judah, Conney Williams, Bridgette, Bianca, Curtis, Robertson, and then we have our infamous Stuart Arell, who was the orchestrator, put all this together. Thank you.